Hi, and welcome to another video by Happy Place Creations, and thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to do some coasters with some flowers. We're going to paint the edges in this Let's Resin mica powder called Goldenrod. We're going to paint the edges, and these have a raised edge, so we're going to have a nice golden trim. And we're going to have gold around the edge, and the trim will be gold as well. And then we're going to have our flowers set down inside, so we'll have a nice pattern of flowers. I thought that would be nice to try. So let's begin. First, we're going to paint the edges and the sides with our golden rod from Let's Resin. I'm just going to set these other ones aside while we're painting one at a time. And we want to try to get none on the inside, so we just want to get our sides done first. Go around our edges like so. And this mica powder does go a long ways. I'm trying to get the inner edge as I'm going along. If we happen to get any in here, I can just use a piece of tape and we'll get that right out. But we just want to make sure we get our edges done nice, evenly coated. You have to tip the sides back a little bit to see. That's perfectly fine because there is no resin in play yet. But you don't want to be tipping it back like this once we have resin in there, because that's going to jerk it loose. And then you might cause an air pocket, and then the resin will go down in behind, and you don't want to have that. Have you noticed I haven't had to put the brush back into the jar yet? Because this mica powder does cover very well. And we also want to make sure we get our edges on this side as well. Isn't that a pretty color? And I will do one, and then I will fast forward while I'm doing the rest. Just making sure my edges are fully covered before I move on to the next one. If I happen to miss any, I can definitely use my gold pen. That's from Let's Resin as well. My Deco Art pen, if I happen to miss an area. What this happens to do is this happens to lock into the resin, so it's less apt to wear off. where if I put it on after, it could wear off. So I like to put it on before I pour my resin. And there we go. Now as far as the little bit that I have around the edge, I think I'm going to leave that there. Because that's just going to add to the character of the poster. And I'm going to set over to the side. I'm going to blow out the extra. Like so. And now I will move on to the next ones. And I will fast forward that for you. Alrighty. We have all our edges covered. Our sides covered. And you probably noticed I cleaned off the top. And all I did was take a baby wipe and just wipe that down. And I took a paper towel and wiped off the wetness, so that those would be nice and dry. So what we do now is we have to mix up some resin, because I want to cover my sides up to this level before I add the flowers. That way I don't have to worry about my flowers shifting. So all I'm going to do is mix up a little bit of resin, enough to fill in just where this little gap is, so that I know that that's going to be cured before I put the level in to put our flowers in. So let me go mix up some resin and I will be right back. Alright, I have our resin all mixed up, and I am using the Unicorn Art resin. And to try to avoid getting it on the top, I'm going to use my syringe. Now these are very easy to clean. Just gonna rinse it out with alcohol and let it air dry, and it's ready to go for the next use. So I'm going to be putting it in the cup, sucking up a little bit. Not too much, because you need enough to put over your hand. And then I'm going to spray with alcohol. A lot of people don't like to spray with alcohol once they put mica powder in, but I haven't found any difference. So I'm just going to pull the back a little bit, the side back a little bit, and I'm going to push it in. And I'm going to let it go by itself. Until it levels out. That way I don't overfill. Can be a little more time consuming versus just dumping and pouring, but I like to get more precise when I'm having to use a mold like this. So I just put it in a couple areas, then I let it level out, and then I'll come back to it. Because resin is self-leveling, as you all may know by now. But I don't want to put too much and go over my edge, because I want it flush. And I'll come back to that in a moment. That one looks like it's doing pretty good. Looks like it's doing pretty good. We don't see no bubbles, even though I am going to still go around the edge without trying to scrape away my mica powder. because I want to get those pesky bubbles on the side. Sorry if my hands are in your way. And I could have used a darker resin for this, but I chose to use clear. Because I don't want my coasters too dark. See that bubble right there? We're going to go get it. Now once it's all the way around the edge, all you have to do is put a little bit in here and there, and it will self-level it. Just throw that last one, and then we're going to go after the bubbles, so I don't spill my resin. And I like this type of syringe because it's on the edge, so it's really good for curves like this. I got a little bit on the side, but that's not going to bother me because our next layer is going to be, and I made way too much. Because our next level is also going to be clear. I thought I was going to need quite a bit. So now I'm just going to take this oversized toothpick and gently go down so I'm not touching my sides. But I'm going to get them bubbles, even though we're not going to see them anyway because of the mica powder. I don't want bubbles in there. So I'm just going to go and get them bubbles out of there without scratching my mica powder. And then I'll spray a little alcohol. I'm just getting the prominent bubbles right now. So don't want to scratch my mica powder. And there's the big bubble I told you about we were going to go back and get. We don't want bubbles. Oh, I missed a little gold there on the trim. But that's okay. So there is our first layer. And that's just going to fill in that gap underneath. So when we go to put our next layer on, I always want to say level, but we go to put our next layer on, then that's not going to give us a downhill slope for our flowers so that it won't go at a level, not a level, but a tilt. I want to say a tilt. Just gonna try to get this off the edge. A little bit I put on this side, even though it's just gonna cure, but it was the idea of it for me. Because I don't know if anybody's gonna want to buy these, so I want to make it look as presentable as possible. So I will let that cure, and as soon as that has cured, I will be back and we will do the next layer with the flaps. Meanwhile, I'm going to find something to do with this extra resin stuff. So let's just see what I can come up with for us to do. I shall be right back. Alrighty, I have found a mold, and it's my little dog mold. Sorry, I keep putting things upside down to you. And I've decided to use the Libro green glitter and the Libro lavender glitter. So I'm going to just, oh no, I don't want to put that in yet. I want to put my glitter in first. Let you watch me. So I'm not going to need too much of it. Purple and green. Whoops, I'm sorry, I'm off camera again. Leaves me about enough to do a necklace for that green. And that I will rinse out shortly with alcohol. Because this is getting warm quick. Gotta have my sticks. And I'm going to do the glue trick because of the glitter. I don't want it to sink, where these are quite thick molds. I want it to stay suspended, and you only need about a drop per ounce. I have a tendency to just do a squirt and go from there. But see what it does to your resin? The main ingredient of slime, in case you did not know, is glue. So I am going to just spray a little bit of alcohol, which I didn't do over here. And then I'm going to pour. And it comes out real thick and slimy. I'm going to let that level out as I pour a purple. I love this little keychain thing. It makes nice little keychains. And I'm going to pour the next one purple as well. Sorry if you can't see me. I'm so sorry. I'm right under the camera and my hand's in your way. I really apologize. Just where this is getting hot so quick, I really want to get it all in the mold. And you know, when your hands are full, your nose always itches. I will find something to do with the rest of this resin, because it's getting really warm and I need to dump it quick. You'd be really amazed how much you can get just from scraping a cup. Still have a little bit of purple left, but I don't have room for it. So I will just give them a little squirt of alcohol, and then I will let them cure like I am the coasters, and I'm going to find something to put the rest of this resin in, and I will see you when these are all cured. Alrighty, these have cured and are ready for the next layer. Meanwhile, I'm just going to show you how these turned out before we do the next layer. Just want to pop that out real easy, as it does have a little insert in between the legs. There we go. I'm sorry, I'm still doing that upside down. There's one dog. I will turn these into keychains and put them in my eBay store. They're a little thick to be a necklace. And here's our next dog. And here's our next dog. Aren't those cute? And our last and final one. And again, he has an insert between his legs, so we need to be very careful that we don't rip our mold. Just push it through a little bit, and it pops right out. And there's our third and fourth and final dog. Aren't those cute? So now I need to go mix up some resin so we can put our next level on here, our next layer, so we can add our flowers. So I shall get set up for that, and I will be right back. Alrighty, I have our resin mixed up. Now this is a clear resin. It's a new resin I got on Temu. It's called Fast Cure, but it has a 40-minute work time. I have stirred it for 5 minutes. It says 3 to 4 on the packaging. And then I put it in the vacuum chamber. And that is how beautiful it came out. Now, I have added a couple items to my list of what I want to put in with the flowers, and it's this silver and gold, and it's called the C, and these are glass flake mixes. Now, I got these at Hobby Lobby, and I'm eager to try them. So I am going to put them in the bottom and have it act like sand. I have sand, but I wanted to have something shiny. So I'm just going to, let me put it over here so I can show you what I'm going to do. I am going to just mix a little bit in a little silicone cup that I use for UV resin. I gotta take the cover off. These shakers aren't that good, but I got them at Walmart. They're actually for, drawing a blank here. They're actually for, your spices. And I got a whole dozen of them. And they're great for holding small stuff like this. Now I know I'm not going to be, I should have got a bigger cup, but hindsight, you know? I want more green than gold. So I am just going to mix that in. Just going to mix it a little bit. Then I'm going to pour some resin in our coasters. Looks about right. And then I am going to put some flowers in with our crushed glass. It's glass flakes is what they are. So I'm going to pour, spray some alcohol in each one. Got my new fancy dancy alcohol trigger, but I still have the little reliables when they work. So I am just gonna put enough in here so that I can coat the glass and put the flowers in. But I wanted to leave enough if I wanted to put a back on here behind the flowers. And I did mix up 6 ounces of resin. Just trying to get them somewhat even here. And now this is going to be our base for our flowers. And as you can see, we got some mica powder floating. Can't always get every little bit of mica powder that might float. That just adds to the uniqueness of your projects. And there we have it, the end of the resin. So I am seeing a little bit of a film from the alcohol here. So I'm just going to mix that in. Only takes a second. Plus I got a bunch of mica powder floating. Won't hurt to mix that in and get it dissolved. But that doesn't mean we won't see mica powder floating among the flowers. Alrighty. That one's got a lot more than the others. So what I'm gonna do, some out of this one and put it into this one. We don't really need much of a layer to put the flowers in. I just don't want them floating around. So let me wipe off my stick here. And then I will proceed to put in the flake mix. Just wanted to wipe that off so I could use the other end. Because I want the stems behind this. and then I'm just going to mix it in. So that it's all covered. Like so. And I'm hoping these aren't going to float off. Just want to tap the flowers down so that they get resin on top and bottom. This will help, you know, with bubbles. There we go. And you're going to want to watch these for a while because of air bubbles. Let's see, do I have another one of those? I want to try to have the pieces at least match. These are not easy to pick up off this card. And I only had 3 of those, so we are going to go a little creative, I guess. Get you covered. Excuse me. My coffee. I just recently started drinking coffee in this past week. And I'm trying out a buttery caramel, and it's really good. Alright, so we are going on to, let's see, I have these come so compressed on these cards that you can damage them so easy. And I apologize for the time that it's taking to do these. I don't normally play with flowers on this large of a scale. I am primarily a jewelry keychain and I love keychains. Let's get that sunk under. Just want to get the air out from underneath and get it coated. This one's a tiny one. See, the flowers are going to sit or float. You can just do this as well to help get it coated where it's so delicate. Once you get it coated, then you can slowly push it down. Alright, I have grabbed some of my ladybugs just to put them in somewhere. Guess I need a couple more. Not necessarily, but grabbed a couple white ones. Just so each one will have 2 in it. Stay there. That one looks like it's eating the flower. And there we have it. Now once these have cured, I'll be back, and I think I want to put a back coat on. But I'm not sure what color I want to put. Now I can't put green because of all the backing that will take that away. So I'm going to think about that, and when I come back, I'll let you know what I've decided. Resin mixed up, and this is unicorn art resin, and I mixed up 3 ounces, hoping that's going to be enough because I'm just doing a thin layer on the top. And this is how I tested what colors I wanted. Just a drop on a paper towel so I could see what color I wanted, and I ended up using the pigment Sky Blue. And I'm not sure who the company is, but I will put it up on the screen when I edit this video. So let's put, it's just going to be a light blue background. And these flowers kind of like swished together. These ones kind of slid down, but those kind of stayed, and those kind of stayed. But these kind of did, they float, like I had said. But it is what it is. So I'm going to start with 4 drops. See what that gives me. Oh, that's a pretty blue. Almost looks green. Does, don't it? Almost looks green. Well, that would kind of match, wouldn't it? So I'm going to leave it at that. Just going to make sure I get all the color mixed in, and I think that's a good color. So we're just going to pour that layer over the top. And then we are going to let that cure again, and then I'll be back for demolding. Just going to do it nice and slow and hope I mixed up enough. To mix up a little more. And if I do, I'll do that off camera. You don't need to watch me dump again, because I do know I put in 4 drops. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to mix up a little bit more. Whoop. And there's my puppy wanting in. So all I'm going to do now is just make sure it's gone to the edges. These are going to be clear. And I will go mix up a little bit more, and I will take care of that last one, and as soon as it's cured I will be back for demolding. Hi everyone! They are finally cured, and this was a chore. My heat mat died on me, so I had to wait the long way. But let's take a look and see how they came out. This one has a red one and an orange ladybug. That came out good too. Yep, again, the edges are going to need to be done. I think all the edges are going to need to be done. That crackle. It's always a fun part of unmolding. Is that little crackle. Oh, and this one has a red and yellow ladybug. That little ladybug's hiding down there. This one shifted. But overall, these all came out really nice. Other than the edge, and I will have to take care of that. See, a little bit of sanding. I think a white background would work nice on that. That would still leave the blue hue of the color of the sky. So those all came out fairly well, I think. Now, want to see what I did with the extras? Got a set of earrings. Let's see if I can put the white on there too. There we go. Got a set of white earrings. Well, it's the blue, but with the white background, they show right up. They match the coasters. And we got a pendant. Look at that. Well, right now it has a gold chain on it. I've ordered the ones with the gold, and they're on their way. But everything is gold to match the coasters. And this one has a ladybug with multicolored spots. And this set will go to whoever purchases this coaster set, and they will get the pendant and the earrings for free. So that is how this project came.